Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball is back. The Hawkeyes with a 103-76 victory in Carver Hawkeye Arena, part of their preseason schedule, their exhibition, their one exhibition game of the year. Of course, the women had two with the win over Clark and DePaul. We're here to talk about the 103-76 victory and take your comments here over the next 10, 15 minutes or so. This is going to be the shortest postgame of the year because we've got a Hawkeye Hangout show with Coach Don Patterson. And after all, this is an exhibition game, but we learned something from this, I hope. So let's start before we get to our callers who have been on hold for here to start the show out. Let's take a look at the box score. I figured this would be the easiest way to break all this down because I know a lot of people rely on ESPN, CBS Sports, all these different apps to bring them box scores. And I know, of course, those apps don't have the exhibition scores. So let's take a look at the box score here. This is official from Iowa. Again, you see 76-103, the victory for the Hawkeyes. And I'll actually, what I'll do is I'll make this bigger and throw myself to the corner. Here we go. As you can see, Iowa shooting 53% for the game, 35% from three, 7 of 20. So 7 threes tonight. That number will probably need to be higher once you get into Big Ten play. Obviously, you're not going to be able to dominate teams inside like you do against what are they, Division II, Division III, whatever Quincy is. Free throw shooting was a bit of a struggle for a time. They shot 68% on the night, 28 of 41. They'll want to get that percentage up as well. They got to the line a fair amount of times, again, with the 41 free throw tries, and it felt worse than it was in reality, but they'll want to work on that 68% free throw percentage. 14 turnovers. You can kind of expect that in an exhibition game to start things off. It was a really odd start. In fact, Quincy had an early, I believe, 10-point lead. We have that on here. I don't think we have that on here, but you can see that there were 3 lead changes. But basically, once Iowa got its rhythm there in the first half, it kind of pulled away. And Quincy made a few plays in that second half to keep it within 10 to 15 points. Frankly, overall, I was not blown away by anything I saw this evening, but there are things to take away. One thing being, I thought Ben Krikke looked really good inside. Now he's not going up against the physical fives that he's going to face in the Big Ten Conference, but I was surprised we only saw 4 minutes out of Evan Bronze in the final few minutes of the game. I had talked preseason about how Bronze, who's an Iowa City native, got some good minutes down at Belmont, which is a solid Ohio Valley Conference program, would give them potentially defense, rebounding, and in college, Evan Bronze was a better rebounder per 40 minutes than Ben Krikke was. But tonight, not the case. Bronze just played 4 minutes, and Krikke with 7 rebounds in 25 solid minutes, 4 of 8 from the field, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, missed his only 3-point attempt, was the second leading scorer behind Patrick McCaffrey, who was perfect from the line at 7 of 7, 4 of 7 from the field, made 1 3-pointer. You see Peyton Sanfort with 1 3-pointer, made 1 of 5, struggled from outside this evening, but still ended up with 13 points, 4 rebounds. Tony Perkins with 10 points on just 7 shots, no threes made, and he was 4 of 9 from the free throw line. That is an odd number when you talk about how well he shot from the line last year. Desante Bowen started. I think there were some question marks whether Tony Perkins would start at the 1. You get Josh Dixon there at the 2. Instead, Desante starts at the 1, gets 6 boards, 3 assists, 4 turnovers in 19 minutes. They need him to be better. And I know this is just game one. This is an exhibition. They need Desante Bowen to take a big step forward this year. Josh Dix, I mentioned him. I thought he was maybe the second most consistent player on the night, with the exception probably being Cricky. 10 points for Josh Dix in 18 minutes. He was perfect from the free throw line, 3 of 3, 3 of 6 overall from the field, had 4 solid rebounds for a two guard, and no turnovers. He's going to be essential as well. We saw a few good minutes from Laji Dembele, 14 minutes for the true freshman, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. We did see Price Sandfort knock down 4 threes. He was the better of the two Sandforts tonight. If you look at 3-point shooting, 12 points for Price Sandfort, 4 of 5 from 3. He is going to be used this year because he can shoot 3-pointers. And I don't know where the scoring comes from. You look at this lineup and you're thinking, well, who's the number one guy? I am as skeptical about this team as I've been about any men's basketball team at Iowa in recent time. I'll admit that freely. So they're going to need someone like Price Sandford. They're probably going to need a couple of freshmen to step up. At one point in this game, we had 4 freshmen on the court and 1 sophomore. It was Sandford. I'm talking about Price, Dembele, Freeman, and then, of course, Brock Harding along with Josh Dix. You see Owen Freeman, 12 points for him. He was solid as well in just 14 minutes. Very efficient. 5 of 6 from the field. Needs to improve from the line. 2 of 5, but 7 rebounds in 14 minutes. Those are numbers you can take. Now, again, this is against Quincy. I understand that. But I was impressed by what we saw out of those 2 freshmen, Owen Freeman, Peyton Sandfort. And frankly, Brock Harding showed flashes. Just 1 point, 4 assists, though, 3 turnovers. He'll get better. I don't know how much he's going to give you his freshman year, but I think he's going to play. And again, I'd say my biggest surprises were the guys that didn't play until late. Evan Bronze would be one. And the fact that we saw Riley Mulvey in the final 3 minutes, and that's it. Here's a third-year big for Iowa who, unless he was dealing with some injury tonight, and I don't believe he was, he does not look to be inserting himself into the rotation. 4 freshmen well before Riley Mulvey was today. So those are some kind of initial takeaways. I know we've got several people waiting to jump on hold, and we're going to have to kind of keep this postgame show short because we've got Coach Don Patterson waiting on a separate Hawkeye Hangout stream. So let's go to Tony first. Old Tony.
How we doing, Corey?
Doing good, man. Did you get the Did you bite the bullet and get the BTN Plus?
Oh, I have it. I had it. It's funny. I had the recurring subscription, hit my bank account yesterday because I think I bought it same time last year, because I saw that the women's have some, and then you get some other sports too you can watch. Like I think I remember the Iowa State women's soccer game was on BTN Plus and stuff like that because you can just get the Iowa only.
You haven't canceled it all. You've had it going all year.
Yeah, I just bought that. I mean, it's really so. It's only like for the Iowa only package. I think it was like $80.
Okay, that's not bad for the year.
So I mean, if you think about, because I mean, I don't know. I think we have another later one like outside of that 2-month window, so you might even have to get 3 months.
I don't believe so. I looked at this.
Are they all within the 2? Okay,
I believe so, and I'll tell you something, Tony. I have not watched the. Well, no, you're right. If you're talking about the women's game from the other night against, are you including that game against Clark?
Yeah.
You're right. There's another game outside that 2-month window. But here's what you do if you're real smart. Maybe you're real dumb if you're me. Avoid getting it yesterday, Tony, because I was going to get it last night because I haven't watched Iowa Clark yet. All right. Okay. And I'm with Caitlin Clark. I'm talking about Iowa versus Clark University. And so I was going to get it last night, and a buddy and I were going to watch the game Sunday night. I look on the schedule and I realize, hey, the last BTN Plus game is a men's game on December 29th. Today's October 30th. So by waiting to buy it today, I can go back and watch the Clark game later this week and then have it canceled after that 29th game, and I'll have paid for 2 months. See, that's how you do it, folks. Now if you're Tony, you just buy for the whole year, you get $80 for the year, and you get it done. But that's what I did, and frankly, it's amazing to me that BTN Plus, I don't know, have they improved their stream or their quality of content?
Yeah, I think they did. Maybe it's what I use. Like, I don't know. I use Apple TV. That's what I use for my streaming. And I've never had issues when people, you see people on social media complain about streams. I'm like, I never have those same issues that other people do. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't know if it's internet provider or whatever. Who knows,
Yeah.
So, the one that the player that kind of stuck out to me, and I mean, it's because he did all the little things, was Laje. Like he
Yeah,
had some, those blocks were impressive. The couple,
he's got some good athletic upside, and
yes,
he and Owen Freeman both have really strong motors, and they're not
yes.
afraid to be physical. And that's what Iowa needs. Like I say, if especially if Evan Bronze isn't going to play, they need somebody that can get down and get dirty inside. And
I guess to me, and I'll just close with this because I know you want to have a short show. Is I think Fran purposely had Dix as the sixth man, and he had him with that group of freshmen as the steadying force. And I think it was a pointed effort that those freshmen were going to get this many minutes because I think he knows what he has in Bronze. Bronze doesn't need to get his feet wet. He's played college basketball before. He knows what to expect. I think this was just an exhibition, and he wanted to get those freshmen, I mean, what, 65% of the minutes?
Here's the question.
It seemed like
once we get into the regular season, right? Because the actual regular season opens next Tuesday against North Dakota. The question becomes, do you trust four freshmen and a single sophomore on the court at the same time?
No. That was just a tonight thing, I think.
So what's the rotation then? If tonight was not an indication of what the rotation will look like, what is the rotation next week?
I think Bronze will see a lot more time.
How do you say that when Bronze ended up with 4 minutes?
I guess I don't know because I didn't. Did we have access to the minutes played overseas?
I haven't looked those up and down. I know they mentioned during the broadcast that Freeman averaged 12 boards over there. You probably caught that during the broadcast.
Yeah.
I did not have access to. I have not looked, I guess, up and down for box scores. I should have done that. That's on me.
I mean, you're busy with everything. I get it. It's a busy time of year with everything.
Here's the thing. You and I both know Evan Bronze, Iowa City native, great kid, hard worker, can rebound. He didn't get a lot of minutes at Belmont, and Belmont was not. They were better last year.
Yeah.
They're a better Ohio Valley team than Valparaiso is a Missouri Valley Conference team. I can tell you that. But he wasn't getting a lot of minutes down there, and he wasn't averaging double figures. So you think he's probably not going to play a lot here. But the thing he does potentially give you is defense, heart, rebounding, and those are the big question marks we have every year with Fran teams: is can they rebound, can they defend? And listen, this means nothing. 103-76. Let's just call a spade a spade. It means nothing. It doesn't tell us anything about what this team's going to be able to do. I made this comment during the game, Tony, and I haven't come out with my official preview for men's basketball. I'll be doing that this week. If Iowa somehow makes the tournament this year, I think it will be Fran's best coaching job of his career here. I really do believe that because they are so young. And, I mean, we just have not seen this green of a team since maybe 2017 with the Cook, Bohannon, Pemsel. Who was the other freshman then? It was like
was Ewell a freshman then too? Don Ewell, or was that I forget?
I think that was before. I'm thinking
before
like Williams. Was it Christian Williams? It's amazing how green they were in 17. They almost made the tournament. It was a really good coaching performance by Fran. So maybe he'll get them there this year. But man, you see him out in the court, and you're thinking, who's the go-to guy? Who do you go to late in a ball game? I mean, I don't even know who the point guard is. Is it DeSante?
I think it's Dix.
It's Dix?
I think so.
I think Josh Dix is a 2. But I mean,
I think it'll be Dix and Perkins on the floor at the same time, and you just have 2 point guards.
Wow, those are two. Those are two.
Because that's what it came out with as the secret scrimmage was the starting lineup was Flip Bowen and Dix started in that secret.
I'll tell you this, Tony. This last thing I'll say, and I got to let you go.
Oh,
Dix has got to shoot the ball well this year.
Yes,
you just got to. And so does Peyton Sandfort. Like, there's no margin for error. This team cannot afford Peyton Sandfort to have the type of slump he had during the first 2 months of last year. You cannot afford that because they'll play themselves right out of the tournament in December. And I don't mean to hyperbolize this, but he has got to shoot well. Dix has got to shoot well. And I think they've got to get 3-point shooting from at least one of the freshmen. And obviously the likely candidate is the younger Sandfort.
Yeah.
But if they can do that, then they can hang with teams. But I just it'll be interesting to see once they go up against more physical, bigger teams, not just in the Big Ten, but they play Creighton on the road on a weeknight. It's going to be interesting to see how they compete.
Yeah. Thanks, Court. We'll see you later.
Thanks,
see you. Oh, hey, is Tom going to do the basketball too?
To be announced.
Okay, sorry. Never mind.
No, that's a fine question. Great question.
Okay, thank you,
Tony. All right, let's trudge along here. Doug is on hold. Doug, welcome.
Hey, how you doing? Talk to you again.
Absolutely.
Hey,
thank you.
I was halfway sarcastic about the Chuck Long statement when I was leaving. I just heard that from other people. So don't get on me like I'm an idiot.
No, you're not an idiot. Lots of people have brought up Chuck Long. He ain't coming back to coach under Kirk. I'd probably fall over dead in this chair if that happened.
Well, right after I got off, Tom Caker came on and goes, "There's no way that would happen." I'm like, I just repeating what I'm hearing in the chat.
A lot of people have brought that up. You're not alone.
But I'm more optimistic than you are. I wish we would have seen the rotation. I wish he would have mixed and matched those freshmen with some of the older players. I think Freeman and QUINCY, Ben should have been maybe playing at the same time sometimes. We really don't have much idea of anything after watching that game.
Exactly. I agree.
I was disappointed to see Harding and Bowen have 7 turnovers. That's not good between the two.
Who? Say that again?
Bowen and Brock had 7 turnovers.
Well, Brock's a true freshman. I'm not excusing him. It's his first game out there. I'd be more concerned, right, with what you said. The 4 turnovers from DeSante, that ain't going to get it done. 3 assists, 4 turnovers. He's got to play better. Now, here's the deal. I think part of the reason perhaps that we saw the rotation we saw tonight is because I don't think Fran was too thrilled with how his veteran players played the first 5 minutes of the game.
Well, they played horrible.
So he just put them on the bench, and that may have kind of thrown a wrench in the whole rotation plan from square one.
The 4 freshman Dix group, I thought looked a lot better than the starters at times.
Well, they did get back in the game. They were down double digits,
16-6 or something. Yeah, it was bad, and it just shows Iowa defense. And when we give up threes, anyone can beat us. Eastern Illinois, but I'm I said, pretty optimistic. I think the 3-point shooting's there. I think both the Stafford kids are really good 3-point shooters. We played 10 guys over 14 minutes. The most any guy had was 25 minutes. Like I said, I don't think anyone, if you're judging this off of this game, I don't think that's fair. The one thing I was going to say, because you were talking about Evan, the reason why Evan and Riley didn't get but 4 minutes is because they're the 4th and 5th best post players on the team.
But that's Doug. That's bronze aside. I mean, I have got high hopes for him because, again, his ability to be physical inside. Riley Moulton, this is year 3.
Yep, and he didn't make the European trip. A lot of people, some people have said he's going to graduate in 3 years, and next year he'll be out. Next year he might be out anyway. So Siena or MEAC school or somewhere like that.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, Doug, if that happens, and I like Riley's been on this show.
I don't know anything.
I know, but if that happens, if this year he doesn't really play at all, and then he just graduates early and transfers, swing and a miss. That's a big swing and a miss because they brought him in early. Remember, they were coming off the Luka Garza era with a chance to ride that momentum with the next 7-footer, and I don't think anybody expected Riley to be Luka Garza. Let's say that again.
Freeman's the next Garza.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying. Well, we don't know that. But maybe,
I'm hoping.
I hope. But I'm just saying they were fresh off the Luka Garza era at that point, and they brought him in early to get a jump start on his development. And the fact that he has not developed, it's more frustrating. His lack of development or Josh Agundelay's lack of development.
Both. I mean, he's had some misses, and
absolutely.
But I like the 10 guys he played today. It's sad that Riley and Evan didn't get more minutes. We'll see what happens. But I don't agree with Tony. I don't think Evan's going to get more minutes against North Dakota than he did in this game.
What does he not give them that? Because I haven't seen him enough. I mean, I've seen a little bit of Belmont. I saw obviously Cricky at Valpo, but until I see them against Division I competition at Iowa, it's hard to
Well,
same or the other.
obviously played Logi and Owen together and played them quite a bit. I think their upside's just a lot more than Evans is. You know, they had what 6 or 7 blocks to get together.
The only reason I would have thought, hey, this guy's going to get a few more minutes to start with is he's got experience. He's got Division I experience, and Owen and Logi are coming in as true freshmen. But you know, Fran he's proven he's not afraid to play true freshmen if they're ready to go.
That class you were mentioning, the other 2 guys were Craner and Daly, and Jock led that team. 17.
Jock led
Jock.
that. But yeah,
he was a senior. He averaged like 23, 24 points a game, but the 5 freshmen were a big part of that team.
With the exception being Macy Daly, and he went on to have a decent career at Akron. Everybody else in that freshman class really contributed, and that was a really solid freshman class. Yeah,
Cordell even averaged 8 points that year, and you know they broke the freshman record for like most points for a freshman class or something that year. But
hey, Bob or Doug, I'm going to ask you a question from Bob here in the chat. He wants to know the score of the secret exhibition game. Did you hear anything about this?
Yes.
I wasn't paying attention.
There was 3 periods they played, 20-minute period, a 10-minute period, and 10-minute period. They played a period where they went to a 2-3 zone. They lost that period, but overall, the 3 periods combined, they won by about a dozen points, according to 247 guys and the chats on that website. So I don't know.
Against again?
Wichita State.
That's a good program. It's a better program than they played in past years.
Wichita State was without about 2 or 3 of their best players. So again, there's all these asterisks.
Give me percentage real quick, and then I gotta let you slide, Doug. Give me the percentage chance Iowa goes to Omaha and beats Creighton here in a couple weeks.
25%.
Wow, that's higher than I would have expected you say.
I
don't know as much about Creighton yet, but
we're thinking about going to Omaha. It's actually closer than Iowa City is for us. So
I had the same thought. Yeah.
So but I give Iowa a 70% chance to make the NCAA tournament this year. Now I'm a very optimistic person. About 70.
Wow.
I think that again. I think that the Big Ten is from 4 to 12 not that good, and I mean 10-10 is what they have to hit, and I think they can get that.
You're right about the middle of the Big Ten, Doug. When I watched Michigan State yesterday, and when I watched Illinois yesterday, I'm thinking, man, these teams look like they got real men.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Iowa doesn't.
Shannon's good.
Shannon. I mean, go up and down those two. I mean, between. I'm trying to think. Danger for Illinois, Shannon. You look at what's his face with the crazy hair. He's a year older. What's his name, man? I can't.
You're talking about Illinois or Michigan State?
Yeah, Illinois. I'm talking about Illinois. Wasn't he like 7 foot? Isn't he like 6'10", 6'11"? He's kind of a freak. I can't.
But anyway, you gotta get to Dawn.
I know I gotta get Dawn. Michigan State, though, man. Between Tyson Walker and Hogarth, they looked really good. I
know we're not doing a preview, but Illinois, Michigan State, and Purdue are probably a step above the rest of the league.
I would think so.
Yeah. But I do think Michigan's and Northwestern's are very beatable, and I think Minnesota's horrible, but we'll see.
Hold on. What did Minnesota even do besides lose their best scorer?
Oh, they basically turned their whole team over. So I have no idea if they're good or not.
Where'd Jamison Battle go? Ohio State.
Ohio State.
So and they got a chance to be decent this year because they get hopefully it sounds like a slimmer Zed Key back. You add in Jamison Battle. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting team to watch.
Yeah. Again, well, a lot of those teams from 4 to 12 just have a lot of question marks. And Michigan's one of those. Like, I have no idea how good Michigan is. So, Juwan Howard, I wish him the best, but again, let you get to football talk. So,
thanks, Doug. Appreciate it, sir. All right, got to be real quick with our man, Darrell MVP. Darrell MVP, you've been MIA, but you're here for about 20 seconds.
That's fine. I was going to ask you, what do you think about big-time matchups and exhibition games like Kansas, Illinois, Tennessee, Michigan State? Do you think it's good for the sport?
I mean, I watched them. I'll be honest. I watched them. I could have been watching NFL football. I turned on the Big Ten Network and watched those 2 games. And I listen, when you get games like that, exhibition games, the kids are playing hard. It's not like watching Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic play in a pre-US Open exhibition match. Like, these guys are actually playing hard. So the only thing I don't like is it doesn't count to the regular season. But I was still entertained by it.
Yeah, Creighton is the 8th ranked team in the country, Corey. It's at Creighton. Highly doubt that Iowa wins that game. Iowa just needs to be competitive.
You heard that Doug's gave Iowa a 25% chance of winning.
I give them like a 5 to 10% chance to win that game.
That's closer to where I would put them. I agree.
Yeah, they're young and inexperienced. I think Creighton's probably going to get most of their guys back based on them being ranked that high, so I doubt it. Also, Big Ten, Corey, looks a little bit weaker this year. I'm looking at the AP poll. Only 2 teams are ranked in the top 25 with Illinois and Michigan State, so there's some optimism.
The top it's probably going to be very much like football, top heavy in the conference, and then a lot of uncertainty towards the middle and the bottom.
Oh, and Purdue. I forgot. They're 3rd overall. They got Zach Edey back. They're going to be a monster to deal with.
Those 3 teams, and then I think second tier, you're probably going to look at Ohio State. You know, is Indiana there in that second tier? There's some question marks, though.
And I would disagree a little bit with what your last caller said. I don't think 10's the magic number this year. I think it could be 11 or 12. I think the Big Ten is going to be weaker this year than previous years.
Yeah. No, I could see that, but it's going to be hard to get to 12. I'll tell you that. I don't care what the conference is like for this team. It's going to be hard to get to 12.
That's not my problem, Corey. It sounds like your problem. I'm sorry.
It is Iowa's problem.
I'm just calling it like the way it is. A little worried about giving up 76 points to Quincy. Defense has been an issue for Iowa. Would have liked to see that number in the low 60s, you know?
Yeah. Well,
and
I'm like Bob here in the chat. I'm not expecting a whole lot from I have my expectations are as low with this squad as ever before. That's why I said earlier, if they make the tournament with this squad, it will be Fran's best coaching job in his history here. I firmly believe that.
Final thing I'll say, Corey, to make you feel a little bit better is it could be worse. You could be the Louisville Cardinals. Lost another exhibition game, Corey, 2 years in a row. They lost to Kentucky Wesleyan.
Ooh. Who they lose to last year?
Some other Division II school nobody's heard of, and I forgot, to be honest with you.
Well,
could be worse.
It could be worse. Absolutely. Drill MVP, I'll be looking forward to talking with you more in the coming season. Oh,
is Coach Close coming back for this season?
He is indeed.
Woohoo! And are you doing women's streams?
I am. I don't know what to extent yet because there's still some uncertainty there. But yes, I will be doing live streams, probably recaps for every game, and probably live streams for maybe half the games as an estimate. It just kind of depends on timing and whatnot.
Please do the Iowa Virginia Tech game. That was a Final Four. Both were Final Four teams last year.
100% will do that. Absolutely.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you, sir. All right, folks. Appreciate everybody being here. Harpo, who looked the best for Iowa? I was impressed with Ben Krikke. Nobody really blew off the stat sheet or the screen for me overall, but I thought Ben Krikke looked good on the offensive end, especially in the first half. I was impressed with Price Sandfort from behind the arc, of course, making five threes? I got rid of the box score here, but he was good. And Owen Freeman gave him good energy and good rebounding. And if they can get good rebounding from him, maybe they don't need as much out of a guy like Evan Bronze, who doesn't maybe give you the offensive threat that even a young Owen Freeman does. Esther, I'm doing good. Thank you for being here, Esther. And Chad, how many points did Price Sandfort have? Let me pull it back up. Chad, Price had for the day. Price Sandfort had 12 points. His brother Peyton had 13. So very close. As far as scoring differential there. All right, folks. We will talk to you soon. Again, I'm going to be here throughout the season for Iowa men's basketball. My official preview will be coming out here very soon on the channel. Head over to our other stream. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this very easy on everybody. All right. I'm going to actually pull open the, let's get the actual StreamYard link, or excuse me, the YouTube link. And I'm going to throw it up in the chat, folks. So go ahead and click on the link that I just threw up in the chat, and we'll see you over on our Hawkeye Hangout stream with Coach Patterson in seconds from now.